All right. Habari yako? How are you doing today? It's nice to see you. Welcome. It's nice to see you. My name is Amwell. Jina langu ni Amwell. Of course, your tutor for today. This is TGV Education. I'm very excited even to and also give you some tips, all right? So we can say that 10 tactics, okay, of running and speaking Swahili fluently, all right? So one thing that I found in my teaching of Swahili for the last like 4 years, I've been teaching Swahili, you find that in order to speak Swahili fluently, not only Swahili, any language, you find that when you talk, okay, when you talk, after you read and write, you find that this thing tend to stick in your head and in your brain a lot. So you find it's always an amazing day. Like I said in the previous session, like human brain is always like an amazing thing, you know? Okay, so talk. You may look like a crazy person, but for example, you're writing something down like jina langu ni, maybe my name is Amwell, so I'll be like jina langu ni Amwell. So you find that like back in the day when I was starting learning my Spanish, okay, I found that writing something and trying to talk it out became very good and also very substantial for me. You know, it's like very good thing because it tells you like maybe like sentiment, the thing that you're trying to learn. So you can always say mi nombre es Amwell, you know, in Swahili jina langu ni Amwell, nilienda sokoni, I went to the markets, you know, like this. So when you read and write something, it's always amazing. All right, the second thing, you know, watching movies. Movies can be enjoyable, okay, but also as much as we are watching movies, you find that there's this thing that we have subtitles. I think most of like movie streaming sites, even on YouTube, they have subtitles, especially on, I think, Netflix. Netflix has subtitles. I'm not sure about the rest of the streaming like platform like Amazon Prime. I'm not sure, like Prime Video. I'm not sure, but I know that Netflix has like these good East African films that you can watch if you have like a subscription. And this subscription, they have like very good like subtitles. Of course, they are catered for the East and Central Africa people, but of course they have English subtitles, okay, and translations, all right? So I'll say that this, when you watch East African movies with subtitles, whenever they are available, this can be used as a tool because you may find that some words are repeating over and over and over again. And but also you are able to remember this word because at least you're able to know the translation. If you did not get the word, it will pass like very quickly for you. You are able to remember, this word means this, okay? So that think, you know, don't overthink, but think. Before you say something, think a little bit. How can I say this thing perfectly? But it's not about getting this thing like very perfect, you know? Just think a little bit about it and say it a little bit in your brain, then say it around, okay? All right? That is one of the other things. The fourth thing, number 4, imitate, you know? For example, you have seen like small children. I always give my example with small children. I don't know, it's crazy, like, why? I know. But small children are very good with imitating people, all right? So imitate a person. For example, when like I was trying to learn my Spanish, of course, I had one of my best friends and my teacher, okay? So she was from Peru. And I remember that she spoke very good Swahili, okay, because she was like a volunteer for a while in Tanzania, and she stayed like there for about 1 year, and she learned you know, good amount of Swahili, which was like good, for a volunteer, especially English, which was not the best out there. But I remember that she was like, always reminding me whenever she was telling me to repeat, whatever I said, she was saying, especially in Spanish. And also many times when she asked me about something in Swahili, she would always try to repeat it as best as possible, like I said. So either way, even when you are watching the movie or you are trying to do whatever and you hear somebody speaking Swahili and you hear, I know that word, or I don't know that word, try to repeat it, imitate the way they said it, okay? So just try to produce that sound. The sound may not be, it may be non-existent in like your vocabulary or in your language which you speak, like the first language or the second language, but try to replicate the sound, and also you are able to know, I'm able to produce this sound, because the more you imitate this thing, the more you get better, okay? Number 5, okay? Listen to local music and learn the lyrics, So, of course, in this class, I advocate mostly for us learning like, music. I always give my students different Swahili lyrics and music, which we sing in the class. And of course, here in the class, we have like a very, classic song. Of course, everybody knows the song, Jambo, Jambo bwana, habari gani, nzuri sana. Very classic song, of course. This is not the only song. We have many songs, okay? So you can always try to learn the local music. Okay, so you may find maybe that is not like the favorite genre. Maybe you listen to hip hop music, you listen to rock music, you listen to like this, because you find that not everybody listens to like a particular genre of music. But I'm very sure if you find like your genre of music, you can find the genre of music even in the local language, especially in Swahili. In Swahili, we have all flavors of genre, even rock, you can find it. Because this is something that I found was very interesting. Like, for example, in my Spanish days, I listened to a lot of, merengue and a lot of reggaeton and a lot of, like bachata, a lot of them. And I found that it was a very good tool for me, like learning Spanish, okay? Because there's some words which were about to come up, like words like arriba, about, up and down, like in the music, canción, this kind of words. So you find that with the more you are listening to these lyrics and the more you are enjoying them, you are learning some Swahili word. And also, with time, it just helps like to enrich your vocabulary, all right? Nice one. Then, number 6, reading the local literature, This is part of history. A lot of people, they don't like reading, and I know this is a little bit difficult for many, many people, but I would say that when you read the local literature, it helps you like understand like where certain things came from, where a lot of things, that's it. Like it helps you in the history of the language, and also it helps you connect with the language. Because like for me, I tried, like I was being taught Spanish, okay, by a Peruvian guy. So which means I had to read a lot of, Peruvian history, coming to know about things that, like they would help me connect with the language. And I would say that this is something that will help you connect with the language. So for example, read about the East African culture. Where did Swahili come from? How do Swahili people live? What do they like? What is the most common, like this. So it will just help you connect with the language, all right? Number 7, finding a language learning buddy. This is also another very interesting thing, because I can always say like this. So there's a trick that I found about learning language. Like for example, I had some friends, of course, from Bolivia and Peru, I knew that if I disturb them every day, they would not be willing to help me because, you know, everybody has a, but I found myself this kind of system worked like this. So I found myself the other students who are willing to learn Spanish, okay? Then on myself, the other native speakers, okay? So I made sure my calendar was like this. On Monday, I speak to the native. On Tuesday, I speak with the student, my fellow student. On Wednesday, I speak with a native, another native. On Thursday, I speak with a student. On Friday, I speak with a native. On Saturday, I speak with another student, all right? So I found this system helped me grow my language, you know, a lot and substantially. So I'll say that when you find yourself a language learning buddy, it helps you improve the language, and also it helps motivate you, you know, giving you that drive to learn the language, okay? All right. And talking about a language buddy, of course, I talked about a native speaker, you know? So this is also another great thing because you can find a native speaker probably who does not speak very good English or in another language. So with you speaking with a native speaker, it is like forcing you, you know, like to get out of the comfort zone and try to speak the language and get more involved in the language. But also in other hand, it's like motivating you to learn the language more and more, okay? Then the ninth, traveling, no? Travel can be a little bit difficult. Not everybody has money to travel, but I would say like this, when you get a chance, travel, you know, to East Africa, travel to Tanzania, travel to Kenya, travel to DRC, Uganda, Zanzibar, wherever. But try to travel and get a little bit of exposure, you know, because you find that Swahili has over 16 dialects in the language. So which means like the different people of different genders, of different locations, find they are using different ways, like the language in different, okay? So which takes us to number 10. And in number 10, we can say, try to analyze different dialects. Of, for example, I speak like Kimvita, you know, Kiwunja, you know, Mombasa, dialects, okay? But you find that if you go in, probably different part, they'll speak a different way. In Nairobi, they'll speak a different way. In the middle of Tanzania, they speak a different way. In DRC Congo, they speak a different way. In Lake Victoria region, Mwanza, they speak a different way. And you find that when you are able to analyze different dialects, you know, even in Swahili, then these are like accents, you find that you are able to understand how people like they speak different, and it becomes very, very, very easy for you. All right. So this is something that you can try to do. Okay. So I'll finish there and I'll say thank you, asante sana, for trying to listen to my advice. And I know this one will come in handy and it's part of the package. I know that it may be very, but if you try to at least get like 5 of these tactics, I believe that your Swahili will get much more better, quicker than later. All right. So asante sana and have a great time.